His scheme to marry for inheritance failed, so David Miller tried to drug me and record a video to control me. Too bad for him, he was overheard plotting with his mistress at a restaurant by a kind netizen. The netizen posted a help find name post online. Please share, looking for Sophia Davis nationwide. I saw it. Silently, I poured the drug into the teapot I was preparing for them. My DMs exploded, all with messages warning me about my boyfriend. My hands trembling, I opened a message from a girl named Sarah, who had posted a help request. Please share, looking for a girl named Sophia Davis, an only daughter from a wealthy New York area family. At first, I didn't believe it, but the photo from behind at the end of the post, I recognized David Miller in an instant. That outfit, from head to toe, was everything I'd bought for him. I couldn't deny it. My eyes burned as I looked at David Miller in the living room, calling the guys over. I couldn't believe I'd wasted 7 years of my life on this jerk. Biting my lip hard, I messaged Sarah. Hey sister, I'm Sophia Davis. I saw your help post. Thank you. Sarah, you're welcome. I'm just glad you saw it. You didn't come to Harmony Creek, did you? Me, I'm already here. I'm at his place now, listening to him call the guys. Can you help me? I'll send you the address. Can you come pick me up? Sarah, okay, I'll be right there. Oh, and sister, did you see the woman's hand in the photo? You must know whose it is, right? Me, I know. Don't worry. I would never mistake the hand in that photo. The gold bracelet she was wearing was the one I accidentally dropped 6 months ago. Turns out it wasn't lost. David Miller stole it and gave it to his buddy Ashley. I'd met Ashley 5 years ago. She had a red birthmark on the web of her left hand. I remembered it clearly. Back then, she'd shown me the birthmark just to provoke me. Davy says this birthmark is a sign of a real beauty. Sister-in-law, you should rein him in. How can you trust him being so slick? I ignored her, just gave David Miller a cold look. She's your childhood friend? David Miller quickly shook his head. Just a buddy. I asked again, a female buddy? David Miller got it. He not only sent her away but also apologized to me. I'm sorry, Sophia. We used to hang out as a group back then, and I was so used to her I didn't realize she was that kind of manipulative woman people talk about online. Now I know, and I'll definitely stay far away from her. He kept his word. For 5 years, I never heard the name Ashley again, nor did I see her. He seemed to be clean living, with only me in his life. He acted so well, I hadn't found a single flaw in him until now. Last month, he brought Mr. and Mrs. Miller to my house to discuss our marriage. But no matter how much his family insisted, they were only interested in me, not my family's money. My dad was adamant. He insisted David Miller sign a prenuptial agreement before he'd agree to our marriage. Whether it's premarital assets or postmarital earnings, everything remains separate. There will be no concept of shared property. Only if you sign this will I feel comfortable marrying Sophia off to you. David Miller's expression cracked for just a second, but he still agreed with a smile. I guess that was the trigger for him to drug me. He had meticulously planned this trap for me, acted for 7 years, endured for 7 years, only to end up with nothing. So he went crazy. He conspired with his female buddy, Ashley, to ruin me in the most malicious way, and drive my parents insane so he could get everything he coveted. As if I'd let him get away with it. A piece of mud like him belongs in the bottomless mire. Sophia, I'm introducing you to my buddies tonight. You have no idea how jealous they are that I have a girlfriend like you. David Miller put his arm around me affectionately, then feigned annoyance. Oh, hey, do you remember Ashley? I hid a cold smirk. Her. Why? Is she coming too? David Miller scratched his head awkwardly. You know, I haven't really kept in touch with her. But we're calling everyone in the group, and if we don't invite her, people might talk. He pulled me into his arms and coaxed me. Don't be mad. I won't talk to her. We can just pretend she's not even there, okay? I felt sick to my stomach. I pushed him away expressionlessly and stared at him for a full 2 minutes before I caught the faintest flicker of guilt on his face. It wasn't easy, playing along with someone so good at putting on a show. I pretended to be annoyed. Fine, let her come. I can't make you lose face, can I? While he was calling the guys, I quietly went through all his pockets and luggage. Finally, I found a 30 milliliters bottle of date rape drug in a shoe bag in his suitcase. 30 milliliters! That's enough for 10 people. I poured the date rape drug into a travel-sized cosmetic bottle, filled the original bottle with tap water, and put it back. David Miller was talking to Mr. and Mrs. Miller in the yard, very quietly. I saw his mother covering her mouth, smirking wickedly, constantly telling him not to worry, that no matter what happened upstairs tonight, they'd be sound asleep and wouldn't hear a thing. Perfect. That put my mind at ease too. I took out the tea from my suitcase and used the old teapot to prepare a pot of high-quality tea for them. Before long, 9 people arrived. Ashley was the only woman. One by one, they made themselves at home, grabbing the cherries from the table and starting to eat without even saying hello. It was the first time I'd dealt with thugs like these. I raised an eyebrow and asked the well-dressed David Miller, "Are these all your buddies?" Ashley clearly felt insulted. She looked down her nose at me. "Davy and us grew up together, practically naked in the yard. You're an only daughter from a wealthy New York area family, sister-in-law, so it's normal for you to look down on us country folks." A guy named D. Mike, smoking a cigarette, eyed me. "City folks sure put on airs. Don't come crying and begging us later." Several others couldn't hide their excitement, looking me up and down as if I were standing naked in front of them, their gazes lewd and disgusting. Watching the full plate of cherries disappear, I finally saw David Miller's true colors. A piece of mud trying hard to climb a wall will eventually melt back into the stinking mire, because he's rotten to the core. I gave David Miller a cold look. What's the meaning of your friend's attitude? Here I was, planning to host them properly. I was ready to brew expensive tea without a second thought, $2,000 a pound. Who's looking down on whom here? If they look down on me, fine. I'll just leave. I won't be a bother to you anymore. I stormed into the bedroom, grabbed my bag, and headed for the door. David Miller rushed to stop me. "Sophia, don't listen to their nonsense. Country folks are used to talking rough, it's not personal." He shot Ashley a look. "Go on, quickly pour your sister-in-law some tea and apologize. If she leaves angry, none of you will have a good time." Ashley pouted and poured everyone a cup of tea. She apologized reluctantly. "Sorry, sister-in-law, we're used to being blunt. I'll drink this cup first as an apology." After all 9 of them had drunk, I put the cup I was holding into David Miller's hand. "I don't drink tea. You have it." I picked up the empty teapot, pointed at the high-proof whiskey on the table, and said, "You guys keep drinking. I'll go wash the teapot." David Miller smiled and asked, "You're not mad anymore, right?" I playfully punched him in the chest and took the cups from their hands. "All right, I'll wash the teapot and then fix you guys some appetizers." Ashley quickly stopped me. "Sister-in-law hasn't had anything to drink yet. If not tea, water is fine, right?" As if I was blind and couldn't see the drug bottle by her feet. I smiled, took it, drank, and went downstairs as they breathed a sigh of relief. Ashley laughed triumphantly. "Let's all try it. Davy won't mind." I walked into the kitchen expressionlessly, put down the teapot, and immediately climbed the wall to escape. The drug would take effect in 10 minutes. The GoPro I'd placed in the corner would automatically send footage of the situation inside the house to my phone. I couldn't wait to watch them suffer the consequences. Sarah and I exchanged contact information. She was already waiting at the edge of the village. To be safe, we'd been on the phone the whole time, but she only seemed to relax once I got in her car. Sarah, whose full name was Sue Jing, looked delicate, but she was anything but. "Let me tell you," she said, "if I hadn't been worried about blowing your cover and getting you hurt, I would have charged up there and beaten that scumbag and that pathetic woman to a pulp. Damn those 2 idiots. Did their brains rot and float away in a cesspool? How else could they come up with such a low-life scheme? What I hate most are social climbers from poor backgrounds who marry into wealth and want it all. They can pretend to be human all they want, but they can't change their animal nature. Greedy toads who don't look in the mirror, never satisfied, with an insatiable appetite. I hope his insides get messed up and he ends up shitting himself when he's old, deserving every kick he gets. Rough language, but the reasoning wasn't wrong. Still, it was really rough. I couldn't help but chuckle. Sarah realized and stopped. Sorry, just couldn't hold it in. It's okay, I said with an awkward smile. It was pretty satisfying hearing you vent. She turned to me. So, what are you going to do next? I felt a little unwell, leaning back in the seat, breathing slightly. First, I'll find a hotel to rest for the night. Tomorrow, I'll call some people and go to his house to make a big scene. Publicly shame them first. Sarah slammed the steering wheel. All right. I'll call my friends and go with you tomorrow. She dropped me off at the hotel and left, saying she'd pick me up in the morning. I took a shower, lay in bed, and watched some adult content. In the living room, 6 bottles of high-proof whiskey were empty, the liquor bottles scattered everywhere. David Miller wasn't there. He must have gone looking for me. Once the drug kicked in and the alcohol took over, who would remember that today's main event was about Sophia Davis? A short while later, David Miller pushed the door open, out of breath. His voice was hoarse. That bitch ran off. Stop what you're doing, and help me catch her. She's not from around here, she can't have gotten far. But by now, who could even hear him? He slowly turned around. Mike grinned at him. Davy, you look so inviting. Finally. I covered my eyes, unable to watch, but my mouth stretched into a wide grin. The wicked will be dealt with by the wickeder. TSK, David Miller is truly pathetic. The next morning, Sarah and I went to David Miller's house, bringing the town hall staff with us. His mother saw me as if she'd seen a ghost. How are you here? Didn't Davy tell Mike and the others to record a video of you? His father didn't have time to cover her mouth. He kicked her leg. You idiot! If you can't say anything right, just shut up. Sarah pointed at the older couple. So you knew too? Well, there's a saying, as the beam, so the rafter. No wonder you raised such a rotten apple like David Miller. Our arrival in the village caused quite a stir, and people were starting to gather to watch. Mr. Miller saw I was there, understood their plan had failed, and his confidence returned. He snorted. What did my son do that you people have to come to my house and lord over us? Sophia, you're about to marry into my family. Are you causing trouble now to try and intimidate us old folks? I gave a cold laugh. No thanks. The old ones are stupid, the young ones rotten. I wouldn't be so lucky as to marry into your family. The town hall staff knew David Miller had planned to harm me and that Sarah had overheard him, rescuing me in time. They were there to confirm what happened and mediate the situation for me. But I hadn't brought them to mediate. If we dragged this out too long and woke up the people upstairs, the show would be over. I led the way, rushing upstairs. Let's go confront David Miller face to face and see who's right and who's wrong. The group pushed open the door, and after seeing the horrible state of the room, they all froze. It was truly a terrible scene. Now it was chaos. Some called the police, others took pictures. Everyone in the village knew each other. One older woman called someone. Aunt Wang, you wouldn't believe what I just saw. Ha ha. I quietly slipped away in the confusion, standing silently in a corner to make room for others. Mr. and Mrs. Miller had really listened to their son. He told them not to go upstairs, and they actually hadn't. Now, rushing in to see, their faces went white. They quickly grabbed a blanket to cover him before trying to wake him up. David Miller's voice trembled with pain. He roared, "Who told you to come to my house? Get out!" No one listened. Watching a spectacle is human nature. People pointed and whispered, saying his skin was so pale it looked like a girl's, and he must have picked up gay habits in the big city and come back to corrupt the village. He couldn't pretend to be elegant anymore. He burst into foul language. What the hell are you talking about? Get out! Did you hear me? Get the hell out of my house. His cursing only made it worse. An older woman immediately shoved her phone in his face. Look everyone! This is the only one from our village who got into a top university. So promising, right? Found a good job in the city and looked down on us village folks. Every time he came back for holidays, his nose was in the air. Every day we heard his parents bragging about him finding a girlfriend from the city, how he was about to become rich. Didn't expect this, huh? David Miller didn't even have time to grab the phone. The older woman smoothly turned and hit upload. Clearly, she had a grudge. Ashley wasn't so lucky. She was slapped awake by her mother. I told you not to hang out with these people, but you wouldn't listen. They'd be bad for you. Why wouldn't you believe me? Now what are you going to do? Who's going to marry you now? Talk about getting what she deserved. Even like that, in the middle of the crowd, she spotted me instantly. Her eyes were venomous, staring right at me. Why are you okay? I clearly drugged you. Why are you fine? Oh God, she's so stupid. David Miller yelled at her. Shut up. He was still dreaming his social climber's dream, walking towards me, wrapped in a blanket, stepping in shit. I saw his face was white as paper, and he was breaking out in a cold sweat from the pain after just 2 steps. David Miller stopped abruptly and forced a smile he thought looked good, but in reality, it was horrifying. He smiled gently. Where did you go last night? Why didn't you come back? The best actor was starting to play along with me again. I pinched my thigh and started crying. David Miller, you tricked me so badly. No wonder you only had male friends in the city. So this is what you're into. You said you wanted to marry me, lured me to your house, but it turns out you wanted me to be the wife of a closeted gay man to cover for you. May you be struck by lightning and die a horrible death. David Miller's face went even paler. No, Sophia, listen, I'm not. Of course I knew. But did that matter? Other people have wives, kids, or at least girlfriends. Ruining me wasn't enough, you had to drag your own buddies down with you. What kind of heart do you have? Well, now they had found the instigator. David Miller was beaten up by the victims' families. Mr. and Mrs. Miller tried to stop them and got hit too. Sarah Lowe lowered her voice and asked me, I really didn't expect it to turn out like this. Are you happy? I wiped away tears that weren't there, my heart as cold as ice. Happy. But it wasn't enough. I didn't feel sorry for these people at all. If Sarah hadn't overheard them and kindly posted the help find name post, I would be the one everyone was pointing fingers at right now. Oh, David Miller wouldn't have let me be pointed at by everyone. His ambition was huge. He would have quietly used the video to extort me endlessly, sucking me dry until my family was completely ruined by his gold-digging scheme. Thinking back, his whole relationship with me was premeditated from the very beginning. I got into the local college. I stayed in the dorm room because I didn't want the hassle of commuting every day, but my dad always had Uncle Mike pick me up on Fridays. It all started when sexual rumors were spread about me. I've always been low-key and hadn't told anyone about my family background. Until one day, someone posted anonymously on the school's confession board, sharing photos of me being picked up by a luxury car, naming me specifically as Sophia Davis, a freshman in the finance department. I was unfairly accused, but I didn't know who to explain it to. I didn't really care what others thought of me, but when my dorm room roommates asked, I took the opportunity to bring them to my house, and my dad personally drove them back. That must be when David Miller heard my roommates call my dad uncle. Because the next day, he handed me a small note in the library. Don't mind what others say. Some people will get to know you through gossip, and then believe that you are not who the gossip says you are. He smiled gently at me and quietly encouraged me. Then, despite the insults he got for associating with me, he started showing me concern and care. The insults on the confession board piled up. Who's this guy? How desperate is he? Has he never seen a woman? What do you know? Hat girl's being kept, whatever little she throws his way is better than what others get. You guys should take notes. With this kind of endurance, you can succeed at anything. Nah, not everyone can be that kind of guy. But these insults didn't affect David Miller at all. He brought me coffee, his eyes full of concern. I can't imagine how heartbroken your parents would be if they knew you were the target of sexual rumors at school. It's okay, you're not alone. You have me. But you're so strong. Your parents, who raised you to be so outstanding, must be even more remarkable, right? I must have been completely blinded. I actually believed him. And I couldn't bear to see him endure these criticisms because of me, so I asked my roommates to post pictures of their visit to my house on their social media. The spacious mansion, the luxury cars in the garage. With the caption, "Those who spread sexual rumors should die. Those who believe everything they hear don't deserve to live." I also contacted my advisor and asked her to help clear my name. Those who had pointed fingers at me started envying and complimenting me, while those who had mocked David Miller began praising him for his keen eye, recognizing a gem. We got together, becoming a popular story. When he was interning, he asked for my advice and subtly brought up my dad, saying he could learn a lot by following someone so accomplished. But I just smiled then, didn't think much of it, and David Miller didn't bring it up again. He always had one phrase on his lips: "I will work hard to earn your father's approval." I guess the approval he wanted was to join my family's company, climb the ranks to management, and eventually take over completely. But my dad's stance was clear: if I wasn't capable, he would hire a professional manager with a high salary. In short, David Miller would never join my family's company. He then placed his hopes on slowly achieving his goal after marrying me, but my dad's prenup shattered all his hopes again. Whether it was the will or personal accident insurance, nothing involved David Miller. I believed in David Miller's character. He said true love couldn't be measured by money, that he wasn't after my money, only to be with me. To put my dad's mind at ease, I supported all his decisions, cutting off all possibility for David Miller's gold-digging scheme. Listening to my dad was the most correct thing I ever did. Otherwise, it wouldn't have forced David Miller to reveal his true nature early, aiming for a fatal blow against me. Sarah was absolutely right. These social climbers from poor backgrounds are truly terrifying. They lose their humanity just for a gold-digging scheme. I shivered, looking at the beaten and bruised David Miller. A feeling of satisfaction rose in my heart. He brought it on himself. He deserved it. Sophia Davis, this was all your plan, wasn't it? Ashley, dressed again, jumped in front of me, pointing at my eyes, red with rage. If you hadn't planned it, why did you run last night? You made us look so pathetic, and now you're blaming everything on Davy. How could you be so cruel? What did Davy ever do to you, and what did we ever do to you? Why did you have to ruin us? They say the person who framed you knows better than anyone that you're innocent. But I wasn't innocent. So, feeling guilty, I slapped her across the face with all my might. Perfect. It was a matching set with the slap her mother gave her. I pretended to be full of regret, heartbroken. When David Miller said you were his buddy, I was so foolish. How could I actually believe a girl hanging around a bunch of guys was just a female buddy? What kind of person you are? Do I even need to spell it out for everyone? And you have the nerve to accuse me? The police are coming. Why would I be afraid of your accusations? She lunged at me, trying to hit me, but Sarah and the others held her back. What the hell are you talking about? You dare, Cal? All the cops? Davy and I are the victims here. When the police come, are they going to arrest you or me? You must be legally ignorant. For public indecency, who do you think the police will arrest? And I laughed. You instigated David Miller to steal from me, and you still think you're right? I stepped forward, grabbed her wrist, and pulled back her sleeve to reveal the gold bracelet. You asked me why I ran last night? I'll tell you now. This gold bracelet on your wrist is mine. I have the receipt and certificate. I wondered how my bracelet just walked away on its own legs. Turns out David Miller stole it and gave it to you. And I wondered why David Miller absolutely refused to let me report it as stolen. Turns out he was the thief, and you're his mistress. Aren't you afraid you'll get hit by a car the moment you step outside, doing these sneaky things behind my back? Scandal after scandal, I gave them plenty to watch. I gripped her hand tightly and tearfully recounted to everyone, look closely, everyone. I'm from out of town. I came here looking forward to meeting my future in-laws, never dreaming I'd uncover David Miller and Ashley's affair. How could I not run? This woman is shameless, wearing the stolen bracelet and flaunting it in front of me. Last night, as soon as these people arrived, they started talking down to me, telling me I'd be crying later. Even I, as naive as I might seem, could tell something was seriously wrong. If I hadn't run, how many lives do you think I have to dare stay there? Ashley let out a shrill scream. You bitch! You knew everything! You did this on purpose! I said nothing, just kept up the act of crying. People defended me eloquently on my behalf. What were they trying to do? Were they going to drag this girl in with them? Damn it, thank God this girl got away. What would have happened to her otherwise? I'm ashamed to be from the same village as these people. Can't we kick them out? Don't let them bring shame in our village. David Miller finally broke free. His face swollen and battered, he glared at me. The tea you brewed. No wonder out of all those thugs, he was the only one who managed to get into college. Smart, but not smart enough. I looked at him coldly. You can explain that to the police. The police arrived and took us all to the station for public indecency. Ashley and the others insisted they had been framed by me. It was Sophia Davis. We got together after drinking the tea she made. She must have put something in the tea. So I was also taken into the interrogation room. Detective Davis asked me, Ashley and the others accuse you of drugging them. Do you plead guilty? I shook my head. No, I don't. My conscience is clear. Ashley is slandering me without any evidence. Can I sue her for defamation? Detective Davis, you can, but the truth will depend on the lab results. They had already taken blood samples and sent the teapot from the kitchen for testing. I nodded calmly. He then asked me, you said you realized something was wrong last night and escaped under the pretense of making appetizers. Was it really just because of that bracelet and what Mike said? I hesitated for a moment. Videos and pictures of David Miller and the others were already all over the internet, trending online. Although Sarah's help find, name, post only had a few thousand views, it was inevitable that some people would connect the dots and post comments expressing satisfaction. Rather than let the police discover it, it was better if I got ahead of it. My eyes suddenly welled up, my voice trembling. I want to press charges against David Miller and the others for drugging me. I have proof. Detective Davis's expression immediately became serious. Tell me. Last night, before they arrived, I was bored and opened an online forum. I saw a lot of people sending me DMs, saying my boyfriend was planning to drug me and record a video with multiple people. I didn't believe it. But when I clicked on the original post, I saw a photo from behind that was clearly David Miller. He and Ashley were discussing in a small restaurant how, after I arrived, they would use the excuse of a get-together with his buddies to drug me and record a video. I messaged the poster and confirmed it was in Harmony Creek, and the name they overheard was Sophia Davis. I was terrified. When I found out the poster was local, I begged her to save me, and she agreed. It would take her 20 minutes to drive over. By the time she got there, Ashley and the others had already arrived. I had no choice but to play along with them and only managed to escape under the pretense of making appetizers. Before I went downstairs, Ashley insisted I drink some water. I knew there was something wrong with that cup, but I had to drink it to get away. After I got outside, I made myself throw up some of it, but I still felt a bit unwell after getting in Sarah's car. I didn't feel better until I got to the hotel and took a cold shower for half an hour. Oh, and before I went downstairs, I saw Ashley pouring something into their drinks, saying it was for everyone to try. I spoke sincerely, sounding weak and helpless. Detective Davis asked, "Why didn't you call the police last night?" I didn't dare look him in the eye, stammering. David Miller told me his family had relatives at the police station, and I was afraid. That part was true, though it was just a low-level auxiliary officer. Detective Davis nodded. I understand why you felt that way, but in the future, the safest thing to do is call the police immediately if something happens. He had someone take me to get my blood drawn for testing and also went to question Sarah. When the test results came back, the teapot contained only tea. The date rape drug was found in their blood and mine, though the concentration in mine was weaker. I had only kept 2 milliliters diluted with water, of course it was weaker. David Miller W. as the primary culprit and was interrogated separately. He didn't accuse me of drugging them, because he was the one who bought the drug. Unfortunately, some of his buddies were as stupid as pigs. When they heard him say I brewed the tea, they latched onto that and wouldn't let go. It wasn't until my statement was presented to him that he finally realized he was completely screwed. He tried to claim that I knew the truth all along, stole the drug in advance, and set the whole thing up for them. But what did it matter? The tea was just tea. As for the drug, they had already consumed it. As long as they couldn't remember the plate of cherries, they could never convict me. Ashley flat out refused to admit she put the drug in the drinks, but Mike admitted it. He said he did hear Ashley say it was for everyone to try. The group of thugs knew things had gotten serious, and they were all trying to blame each other. It was David Miller who talked us into it. He said his future father-in-law was rich, and he wanted us to help him record a video to blackmail him. He promised to pay us after it was done. Ashley and David Miller have been together since they were in school. Later, when David Miller went to college, Ashley even visited him. After she came back, she kept bad-mouthing Sophia Davis, saying Davy had found a girlfriend who was full of herself and that she wanted to ruin her if she got a chance. This whole thing was planned by the two of them. David Miller even gave Ashley a gold bracelet and lots of expensive clothes and bags. I only just found out the bracelet was stolen, and the clothes were hand-me-downs from someone else. That bitch Ashley said Sophia Davis looked down on us country folks, and that's why Davy had to be so careful even talking to her on the phone, afraid of being found out. She put the drug in herself. I saw her do it. It had nothing to do with me, officer. I just came to hang out. I really didn't plan to participate in recording any video. I have a wife and kids, I would never do something illegal like that. Ashley drugged us? I didn't see it, but she was the one pouring the drinks. If there was no drug in the tea, then Ashley must have put it in. She had the drug on her. She even said it was for us all to try. Right, I heard it too. She said it was for everyone to try. They were trying to shift as much blame as possible. It wouldn't change much. Sarah's testimony matched mine. She was just an upright, warm-hearted local town hall employee. She did a great deed. Under public pressure, the case was concluded as attempted rape. The main culprits, David Miller and Ashley, were sentenced to 10 years. The other 8 received 3.5 years. As soon as the case details were released, it went viral. Who knew it would uncover such a major case? And for me, as the victim, to get away unscathed, it felt like divine intervention. The terms marrying for inheritance, naive in love, and supporting him financially/socially were trending online again. I posted on the online forum thanking all the sisters who had helped me. Momo, you're amazing, sister. As soon as I saw the news, I knew it was you. God knows how I got through every second you didn't reply to my DMs. We'll change name after passing grad school exam. Listen up, sister. Let's not be naive in love anymore, okay? Promising youth, I'm glad I could help you. I hope you keep your eyes peeled when you look for a boyfriend in the future, so you don't get tricked again. Respect others' fate, read and understood. There's hope. I can call you sister. My kid has loved beauty since childhood, men are the worst. Sister, you can look at me, I'm super pretty. I smiled, holding the framed certificate of appreciation, and went to the town hall where Sarah worked. You refused anything I wanted to give you, so here. As you suggested, I had this framed certificate of appreciation made to thank you for saving my life. Sarah grinned widely, unable to put the certificate down. The certificate is enough. If you really feel guilty, just treat me to a big farewell dinner, and then go back to being the only daughter from a wealthy New York area family. Don't come back here. Why can't I even visit? What else? Those jerks are inside, but their families are still around. What if you run into someone desperate? Will you be able to handle it? Speaking of which, they actually came. Mr. and Mrs. Miller were kneeling at the entrance of the town hall, begging me to let David Miller go. Sarah was about to call the police with her phone, but I stopped her. Before, these two old jerks had argued that they didn't know what kind of video was going to be recorded, and that their son had told them not to go upstairs, so they'd gone to bed early. There really wasn't enough evidence to convict them. David Miller had caused those people to go to prison, so their families would naturally take out their anger on these two. Being bullied from now on would be a regular thing for them. I looked at the bruises on their faces and smiled. Uncle, Auntie, were you beaten? Do you need me to call the police for you? His mother quickly waved her hands. No, no, we don't need it. Sophia, please have mercy. For Davy's sake, in the years you two were together, please save him. Davy has never been able to handle hardship since he was a child. Prison will be the death of him. I opened my mouth wide in surprise. Auntie, are you mistaken? How much power do I have to save your son? You don't have the power, but your dad does. He's such a big boss, a few words and paying off the right people. Wouldn't that be simple enough to save our Davy? Sometimes, people are so speechless they really can't say a word. I gave a cold laugh. Auntie, you're wrong. My dad doesn't have that kind of almighty power. Otherwise, your son wouldn't just be serving 10 years. Hearing this, his father gritted his teeth and slapped himself hard across the face repeatedly. Like father, like son, it's my fault. I didn't raise my son right. As his father, I'm kneeling before you to admit my mistake. As long as you save Davy, I'll do anything you want. Finally, I knew where David Miller got his best actor-level skills. Earlier at the station, his father looked like he wanted to skin me alive and eat me. Now he was groveling and begging me. Their faces changed so fast, I wouldn't want to get involved. I waved my hand dismissively, as if shooing flies. Stop being a nuisance in front of me. I can't save David Miller, but if you two make me unhappy, who knows, I might remember something else David Miller stole from my house. Then it won't just be 10 years. He might not get out even after you two are dead. When you're alone and weak, never be aggressive. But when you have bodyguards, you can. His father pulled a knife from his shirt and lunged, aiming for my heart. He was going for the kill. Even his mother came charging at me with a knife. But they were both just kicked away by the plainclothes bodyguards. Attempted murder. I signaled Sarah that she could call the police now. Then I casually walked over to the older couple, who were pinned down by the bodyguards, and chuckled softly. Thanks. I was wondering what to do about you two, but luckily you delivered yourselves right to me. Families should stay together, shouldn't they? Go keep your son company. I thought to myself, kill their spirit. Before leaving, it would be good to tell David Miller this piece of good news. In the visiting room, David Miller, now with a shaved head, looked much more haggard. He wasn't acting anymore. He glared at me fiercely. What do you want? I acted a little hurt. Why are you so mean to me? I came to tell you some good news. If you're going to be like this, I won't tell you. His eyes were confused for a moment, then suddenly lit up with excitement. I'm sorry, Sophia, I was impulsive just now. W. Hat good news do you have for me? Did your dad step in? Will I get out soon? Stupidity truly runs in the family. I was the one who put him in here with my own hands. How could I possibly let him out? I pretended to be troubled. Well, I can't really decide that. You know my dad's temper. He'll need some time to calm down before we talk about it. The smile on David Miller's face froze, but he didn't dare give up the faint hope, so he managed a twisted smile. Please, Sophia. I was wrong before. Please beg Uncle for me. Ask him to get me out soon. I swear, I'll be good to you. We can have a good life together, okay? I smiled gently. Let's not talk about that for now. Aren't you curious about the good news I brought? He gave a strained smile, doing his best to play along. Of course I'm curious. What is it? I leaned closer to the glass and pulled up a cruel smile. I sent Mr. and Mrs. Miller in to keep you company. Aren't you happy? David Miller froze, then roared, You're fucking with me. How am I messing with you? I smiled cheerfully. Mr. and Mrs. Miller dared to attack me with knives in broad daylight. That's attempted murder, sentenced to 5 years. Isn't that worth celebrating? David Miller gritted his teeth. I was with you for 7 years. I would have plucked the moon from the sky for you. Don't you have a heart? Not only did you ruin me, you didn't even spare my parents. The wicked complaining first? I turned cold. You're wrong. Precisely because I didn't pluck the moon from the sky for you, you exposed your true nature and brought ruin upon yourself and others. You wasted 7 years of my life. Is 10 years in prison really too much for you? Yes. Exactly. I wanted the moon, why wouldn't you give it to me? I was so good to you and your dad were constantly guarding against me. You never treated me like family from the beginning. What's wrong with me planning for myself? Nothing's wrong. Your 10-year sentence is the answer. The wicked have their own logic that makes no sense. My eyes flashed, and I smiled. There were some things I had planned to tell you after I came to your house, but I didn't get the chance. My dad told me that your willingness to sign the prenup had passed his test. The agreement was fake. He had prepared millions in dowry and a mansion worth tens of millions for me. He also promised that after we got married, he would let you join the company in a management position. My dad said he really recognized your ability and wanted to keep you close to mentor you personally. If I didn't want to manage the company in the future, he would let you take over. He had been wanting to retire and travel the world with my mom for a long time. Tell me, you had such a bright future, but you didn't value it. You pretended for 7 years, why couldn't you endure just a little longer? I watched David Miller's eyes change from disbelief to utter regret. He covered his face and cried, why didn't you tell me earlier? What's the point of saying this now? It's all too late. Hate is a stimulant that will drive a person to keep running, to keep living. Regret, however, is a slow poison that will erode the soul day after day. The wealth and glory that were within his grasp, lost in a single moment of misjudgment, earning him 10 years in prison. His life was ruined. For the rest of his life, that trace of regret would silently cling to him until he suffocated. My lie wasn't a kindness. I just wanted him to die. If he couldn't die, it would trap his soul and torment him every single day. He was sobbing uncontrollably. I walked away without a second thought. My mom called me. My daughter is amazing. Mom was so mad when I saw that post. When I sent it to you, I thought you'd be crying. My dad was also on the line. Nonsense. My carefully trained heir wouldn't be so fragile. Look how beautifully she turned the tables. As her father, weren't you worried Sophia couldn't handle it? And would get bullied? How could I be? Bodyguards have been with her the whole time. Since I graduated, I've had 2 shadows following me, protecting me discreetly. My dad is shrewd, and I'm not bad myself. I smiled. Let's go home.